Jurassic World Rebirth comes out in theaters this weekend. It stars Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali. It's directed by Gareth Edwards, who directed Godzilla and Rogue One. And so here we are. We're with this new Jurassic World crew, new cast, new director, feels fresh. David Kep, who wrote the first Jurassic Park, is back to write this one. And there's a lot of winning pieces, a lot of winning combinations here to make this movie favorable or likable. And Rotten Tomatoes right now, as of this recording, and it's sitting at 53%, which is mixed, right? A lot of critics are mixed. A lot of people that I listened to were mixed or didn't like this movie at all. And what I will say, because I honestly am leaning more positive, it's the beginning that doesn't work for this movie. That's the thing I had the biggest issue with. Now, the opening notwithstanding, there's something really. You're asking me to suspend a lot of disbelief in the beginning of this film. It's a brief moment, but it's also like one of those like, come on, we couldn't think of anything else to do. And I'm not gonna spoil what it is. It's in the first 2 minutes of the movie. And then after that, what I find I have the most issue with is the structure, of how they are proceeding to feed us the exposition, right? What they're going to do, what's the plan, and they introduce this pharmaceutical guy, and they introduce Scarlett Johansson's character, and they introduce Jonathan Bailey and Mahershala Ali, and the introductions are not, they're not highlights like what they should feel. They should feel like these energetic, like, who's that guy and who's that person, and wow, I like this person. I can't wait to see more of them. I didn't feel any of those connections to any of the characters in the opening. I don't know what they could have done differently, but it just wasn't like, when you meet Dr. Alan Grant, it's like, yeah, or Ian Malcolm, or John Hammond. Like there's a feeling that they're a bigger presence than, and they're not as big of a presence as the dinosaurs, but they're a big deal. You feel it. You're like, oh, this is strong. I like this. And so none of the characters being introduced particularly are a big highlight in the beginning of the movie. It gets better though. They all get more interesting as you get along, which is what you should do. I just felt like they needed a little more oomph, a little more pop. And then, of course, in the beginning, it's a bit of a slog to get through. You kind of feel the time in the beginning because they have to set up so much. They have to introduce you to these characters, and it's like, okay. Where's the dinosaurs? Where's the dinosaurs? And that's what you're looking forward to. But I will say, once they make it to the island, yes, I'm in. I am locked in. I am sold. There are 3 awesome dino experiences. One that feels like they definitely were trying to pay homage to the first Jurassic Park film, and you feel it. I felt it. I thought this was a great idea. This is awesome. Then there's an exciting interaction with the dinosaur that I was like, ooh, I was really into. It was very Tomb Raider inspired. And then there's another one involving the T-Rex that was honestly gripping. All 3 of these interactions I felt like were really great and really nicely shot, really nicely acted. Got to know more about the characters through these moments of action, right? Of this particular, of what they're trying to achieve, but each character gets a moment to kind of show their true colors. And that's where I really appreciated the movie the most was in this spot. There's a character in this movie that I don't know what they were thinking. I it's like, in one way I get it, but there's a character in this movie that you just really want to be. They did it on purpose. There's moments where you go, this guy needs to be eaten. You want him to be eaten. And there's some type of redemption arc with that character that I just, he's actually kind of forgotten about towards the end of the movie, to be honest with you. But like in the middle section, you're just like, I just want this guy to get eaten. And why isn't the dinosaurs going after him? Like, it was so frustrating. But yeah, between him and the beginning of the film, those were kind of the weaker elements. I enjoyed the family that's introduced. However, there was a part of the movie where I kind of felt like I don't know what I'm more interested in. Am I more interested in seeing how this family survives, or am I interested in what Scarlett Johansson's doing with Jonathan Bailey's character? I don't know. Like I could have taken either or. If you wrote a movie just about the family, I would have accepted it. If you wrote a movie just about Scarlett Johansson's team, I would have accepted it. And then there's of course there's mutant dinosaurs. A lot of people have been talking about mutant dinosaurs. My issue with the mutant dinosaurs is that they're not utilized throughout the film. They're just kind of like more of a here's a tease and then here's a final battle, but like I didn't feel the impact. I didn't feel the fear. Like there's something that you could have done more to accentuate those characters, to accentuate those mutant dinosaurs and make them more scary. Maybe set it up in the beginning where that's what Scarlett Johansson finds out. But that's me nitpicking at the story and trying to figure out how to make it make sense. It's still pretty solid though. The final act is really solid. And I think the cast is wonderful. Mahershala Ali really sells me on a moment in the movie that I was about to get choked up with. I thought it worked really nicely. So I'm sitting at three out of five. I think I'm at 3 stars. I think it's definitely better than Fallen Kingdom. I think it's better than Dominion. It's a bit better than Lost World of Jurassic Park, but I feel like it's under Jurassic World with Chris Pratt. But it is probably the third best film in this franchise. So I really enjoyed it. I'm more positive on it. Like I said, I was locked in once they make it to the island. I don't know if you guys will feel the same way. And there's one thing I want to say. They need to get rid of this idea promptly. They introduced this idea in Jurassic World with Chris Pratt that because the idea was that they have this park full of dinosaurs and kids are going to this and teenagers are going to it and they're bored, they're on their phones, and it's supposed to be like this, way of the future that technology is going to distract, kids from being in awe of dinosaurs. This film reemphasizes that, but except now it's the whole world, it's the whole population that are kind of like disinterested in dinosaurs. And I think that is a whack idea. It's a terrible idea. They need to stop it. They need to stop that idea because you're telling me you're not going to be in awe if you see a Brontosaurus, by an overpass. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm just saying, like, you can't, it doesn't matter if these animals are extinct or in this world is a fantasy place. There's no way that people will be disappointed or disinterested in a dinosaur if they actually saw them. So please get rid of that idea. Like I said, I know you set it up back in 2015. It let that idea go. Don't have this a part of the Jurassic World franchise anymore because it's stupid. It's get rid of it.